Hey, good morning, everybody. I'm going to go ahead and show you a little bit about the orthographic, isometric, and the section views on our PDF drawing that accompanies our STL file for our CAD maze that we're going to go ahead and print. Just to review real quick, if I wanted to add more walls, you can see I don't have a lot of walls here, but if you're still building the walls here, we go to Sketch. We go ahead and choose our sketch plane, which is the bottom of the floor here of the maze. That's my sketch plane, and I turn my rectangle tool on, and I'm going to go ahead and draw a wall. Now that's step one. Step two is we dimension to make sure that the ball can fit through. So the ball has a diameter or distance across of 4.5. We have to be larger than that. I'm going to go 6 just to make sure the ball can fit through there, but you could always make it 5 or something else. I'm going to go ahead and distance from here to that surface as well. It's 1.599. I need to be 5 or 6 or bigger than 4.5. I'll stay with 6, and I'll make the thickness of my wall from one click there to one click there. The distance across will make it 2, enter. Again, you make these however you want. You make it as you wish. This works for me. I'm happy. I don't have to make this longer. If you want to make it longer, it's currently 25.78. If I want to make it a round number, go to 25 or whatever. And it's all black. Black is good. And I go ahead to extrude, and I'm going to extrude, adding a depth of 10 is what our depth of the maze is. So that's how to make the walls. Again, dimension all the way around. Make sure the ball can fit. We don't want to have a problem after we print these. So you should be dimensioning every time you build a wall. Now, when all the mazes are done, all the walls are built, we have the pathway to bring the ball from the start to the finish is good to go. We'll go to the bottom left-hand corner. There's a plus sign that says insert a new tab. So I click on the plus sign, and there's the create drawing. When we send off our STL file for manufacturing, we need to accompany it with a drawing. So we're going to create that drawing now. And I want you guys to go show on shape drawing templates, and I want you to use the ANSI B millimeters. We're working in millimeters for this drawing. That's why we're staying in millimeters. And the B gives a landscape view of the drawing, like our computer monitors. So I want to go with the ANSI B millimeters. Okay. Now when I open this up, it has a nice drawing here. It actually brings your name down automatically and the date automatically on the paper, which is nice. We can go ahead and add titles and more details and versions or revisions if we change it as we go. The first thing it asks us is, what do you want to bring in? So we have our part. We've only made one part. If we had multiple parts, we would bring in multiple, but we only have one. So I'm going to insert this one part. I'll click on that. And then in the upper left-hand corner, the Part Studio 1 is there, ready to go, and it has the view orientation. So we have different views: front view, top view, left view. That is our orthographic views, two-dimensional. So the front view is set up. I'm going to bring it to C3, just like you would in Battleship or Bingo. C3 here, line it up, and I'll click one time to drop it. Now, if you click more than one time, you'll end up dropping another part, like I just did right there. And you can see, because this tool is selected for the projected view, I can deselect that tool, go back one click on this other view, and then delete it. Okay. Now, back in the upper left-hand corner, kind of where Sketch was when we were in our Part Studio drawing area, I have my mouse cursor on it. I'm going to go ahead and select that. And my part is already selected here. Part Studio 1, Part 1. And I already have the front orientation, so I'm going to go with the top orientation now. The top will show us the depth of our overall block, which should be 13 millimeters for this project. And I also want you to go ahead and insert the side views. So we'll go with the left view on this one. There's a reason why I want the left view. And the reason why we want the left view, for the way we're setting this up, I'm leaving this space in the right-hand side open so we can add some additional things. Now, our names are on the bottom of these, and I need to see that. The bottom view is going to give us the same dimensions and details as the top view. So what I'm going to do is have you guys do the same thing. I turn my tool off, one click on that top view, delete, and I can drag that a little bit higher. And drag that a little bit higher. And I'm going to go ahead and insert the bottom view because I want to see your name on it. And there you go. I have it down there on the bottom. So I have my front view, I have the left view, which will show depth, and I have the bottom view, which will also show depth. But this is called the orthographic, two-dimensional views giving all of the details to show the part here. Now I'm going to go to one last view. I want you to insert right where it says view orientation. I'm changing it from front to isometric. This is a three-dimensional view, which will show us the depth of the part that we have created. There you go. Okay, so I have all of these views set up. Now, the one thing this is not showing us is you can see the entrance hole on the isometric view here and there. We need a section view to be able to dimension those circles and confirm that you have them at the right size so the ball can fit in there. So this tool, it's the fourth one in on my screen. It says section view, and I have my mouse cursor on it right now. Section view, I click on that. Now what this will do is a vertical or a horizontal or angular section view. I have my hole right there and right there. So those are vertical section views. And what that will show is if I cut this part and then take a look from the side in, it will show us the hole there. So watch, I'll just do this one here at the finish hole, and I drag over, and there is the hole for my finish area. Now this doesn't show the start entrance hole because these walls right here are blocking it, and you can see if you cut it here, you would still have that line right there is this little wall, and then you have this little wall behind it, which is there. So I need to make a second section view to show my start hole. And this is still a vertical. If it was a horizontal, I would use that tool, but it's still a vertical. And I left it at section AA for label and BB, and that's fine. Section AA and BB, it clearly identifies where those section views are, and now I can see the hole, so I can go ahead and do the next step, which is to dimension it. So here's my dimension tool. One click on the top here and drag up, 75. One click on the side over here, 75. One click on this shows me the depth of 13. That should make sense. Now, I only want you to dimension the pathway to the finish. So I'm going to zoom in here. My ball has to come out from here to there. Can it fit? 6 millimeters, can it fit? Yes, the ball diameter is 4.5. One click there. I have 5 millimeters. Cool. One click to there. I'm at, let's see. I didn't want it to go on an angle. I'm going to deselect my dimension tool, turn it back on. I'm going to zoom in on that. One click on that line, one click on that line. There we go. 5 millimeters. And I want you to just show me the pathway of the ball. We don't have to dimension the whole thing. I just want to know that the ball can make it through. You're probably going to have some pitfalls along the way. 7.01, can the ball fit? Yep. There's another fiver. Good to go. And then here to here, I believe we just made it 6. Perfect. So the ball can fit, and you keep going. Now I don't have to. I know this is 6, so then it's wide open over here. If I want to double check this area, I can click there to there, and I'm 15.41, so I'm good on that as well. The ball can travel, and it can make it through and go in there. Now we have to go ahead and confirm our circles over on this side. A couple things I want you to show me here. One, the circle. I click on a circle one time. It gives me an R of 3. I'm so happy it did that. Sometimes it goes right to the diameter. And one click here and there. Perfect. This is exactly what I wanted to see. So here it shows the diameter. That symbol right there means the distance across the circle is 6 millimeters. R3 means radius. Radius is from the center point to the edge is 3. So if from the center point to the edge is 3, then the distance across would be 6, or the diameter of 6. So both of those are exactly right. It's bigger than 4.5, so we are good. That's good to see. Now, initially, we cut 10 millimeters out here, so I want you to confirm to me that we have a 10 millimeter depth on the cutout. One click here and one click there should give me a 10. Beautiful. And that leaves 3 on the back. And we know the whole thing's 13 because it shows it there. This looks good. You do not need to dimension the isometric view. And we have our 13 there, so we know that this is 13. I'll just drop it on again. And this is already 75 listed there. Very good. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and if you push down on your trackball, and you can move this back on a screen if you're zooming around and everything. I'm going to go to my A tool now. The A is the note, and I want you to label it. Last thing we'll do, I go ahead and click here. I'm just going to drag this out a little bit so everything can fit, and I go isometric. And we're going to type view. Isometric view. Isometric view. All right, this is the front view. I'll put it down here. Front view. And this down here is the bottom view, where we have our name. Very nice. And this is the left view. Now these two-dimensional views, again, front view, bottom view, left view, these are the orthographic views, orthographic. And then this three-dimensional view is the isometric view. Our section views are already labeled, and we have our dimensions, and we have our labels, and we have everything we need. Your name's on it right here. And that would be it. At the end, you'll right-click on drawing one. You'll use the export, and then you'll go ahead and put your name on it. So I would say Mr. Mattia drawing. PDF is good. We export, and we would attach it then into Google Classroom. Have fun. Thank you.